Okay, here in round 2, our opponent's going first. We don't have a blue mana, but I think I am still going to keep this. We have a lot of blue mana we could potentially draw. I mean, at the very least, we could do a Douse and Gloom potentially. I think it's worth keeping. We're going to start with a Bloodstained Mire, unless we draw an island, and then we'll start with the embodiment. But the reason to start with the Bloodstained Mire does deck thinning for us, so potentially makes our island draw come sooner, ideally. So pop that, get our black mana. See if we can get a blue. Well, we did get a blue, so that's good. Going to be able to at least cast Embodiment next turn, or Douse and Gloom, or Crippling Chill. All of which are pretty good. So you got a Morph. That's what I'm expecting. A Banner. Alright. So he's got white mana. If I had Soul Tide Charm, that'd be a good opportunity to blast that. Now the question is, do I need my Embodiment anymore, or do I want to just get a Loxodon out there? Well, Loxodon's going to be less mana. If I play Embodiment now, I still have to crack it next turn, so no, it's debatable. I think I'm doing Loxodon, because ideally I hit my mana, and even if I don't, I still just can cast Embodiment plus Douse and Gloom or Crippling Chill next turn. So I think it just makes better use of mana. Yes, this could open me up for some removal, of which Mardu has many pieces, but Rage Form, that's pretty good. So that's going to be a solid Douse and Gloom right at this moment. So at least my turn's mapped out. Douse and Gloom plus Embodiment. And it was a good creature to have with Double Strike, a 2/3. Wait, no, it doesn't work like that, does it? No, it enters the battlefield. So he would have just left it a 2/2 Double Strike, but I'd still say that is certainly worthy of a Douse and Gloom. All right, let's get Embodiment out there and then pass. So still have a couple pieces of removal and have the Soothsayer to find one of our additional fatties we'll eventually be needing. Four cards in our opponent's hand. Something big coming. Ponyback Brigade. Well, that's actually not that bad. There's a Soothsayer, so why don't we just get some card advantage here. Find another big threat. Could find a mana, but I feel like that's kind of a waste, so let's look for a good spell instead. Probably Bitter Revelation will be in here or something. Or Villainous Wealth. Yeah, I think we're going to want our finisher spell, especially since it leaves him in the dark about it still. I like the Cruise Shock too, but I think it's just a good opportunity to take Villainous Wealth and pass. So Trumpet Blast and Rush of Battle, stuff I have to worry about, but see if he's got it. Uh-oh. So he is setting up. He's certainly setting up for a Trumpet Blast. I think next turn I'm just going to drop another Soothsayer for that reason. Although we did get a land, so I can flip my Loxodon, but I kind of feel like I need some more bodies out there. Unfortunately, I can't Crippling Chill plus Throttle. Soothsayer gives me 4 blockers, which means he'd only be able to get in with 3 guys with the Rush of Battle. Yeah, think we're just going to Soothsayer again. Just basically continuing to dig for removal and powerful spells. Like Sultai Charm is a good one. Get rid of these. So our Muck Dragger is actually like kind of good now. We don't need our embodiment as much. I wouldn't mind having it to be able to pitch. Alright, so just drawn. I'm sure he's digging for, you know, pump spells, but pump spells aren't the end of the world now with double Soothsayer up. Archfiend. Alright, I've got the answer to that, so that's the good news. Let's charm this guy. Unfortunately, the Skull Keeper's not all that good anymore. So now we'll just pass. I think we are going to crack our embodiment to make our Villainous Wealth better. Alright. Got the answer to that, so more good news. Oh, he's just trying to get a raid. Skull Hunter is my guess. So I'll probably just discard the Skull Keeper. I don't want to mill myself too much more, I don't think, because we're good on that front. And the 3 remaining spells are better anyway, so. Alright, let's crack Embodiment. We're basically just making... do I want a second black mana? No, I want a second blue. Alright. So let's untap here. We can Villainous Wealth currently for 5, which isn't bad, but not quite good enough. So let's throttle this guy. And we'll pass. Just trying to get a Villainous Wealth that's really good. I think we're going to Crippling Chill something. Krumar, 1 card left. Guess I don't have to. We can just be in chill out mode here for a bit. There we go. So we're up to a Villainous Wealth for 6, but I think we can hold off longer. We're not in any immediate danger. And I have enough mana at this point to Crippling Chill plus. So I think I am going to Crippling Chill Krumar, I guess. Well, I guess there's no reason to do it. Well, I've got 3 blockers, which means you can get in for 5 guys. With Trumpet Blast, it would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 damage. Let's just Crippling Chill then. Another land is acceptable. Flip the Loxodon. Mandrill's a great draw. Alright, let's get in with Loxodon here. Drop Mandrills. We don't even have to crack any of our Delve. I am banking on him not making me discard, I guess. Actually, yeah, it's pretty dangerous. We know he's got Skull Hunter. I guess I should really cast Villainous Wealth next turn if I can. I probably shouldn't have waited so long. Because we know he's got Skull Hunter. Alright, so thankfully I'm not punished for it. Although now I can Revelate, can't I? Let's just Villainous Wealth. This is more than appropriate number, considering the curve of his deck. Guess Trumpet Blast is a pretty awkward one, but Rush of Battle should be good. Only 3 spells, which is really unimpressive. Really unimpressive here. But it's the way it goes, I guess. Taking it. All right, it's pretty bad. Yep, so we're going to have to discard our Bitter Revelation, which is real bad for us, but I guess we can't afford to play too many more anyway. So, all right, let's figure this out. So I guess we go Ripper on that guy, and then we'll go this on these two. The reason I'm doing it like this, Trumpet Blast would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 17, and I would lose my Skull Keepers if one of them, or Soothsayers rather. So this way I can kill his rider, and I only take. Actually, do you get the token permanently? Then let's just do it. Let's do one of these tokens, because he's going to lose this anyway. So this way, we don't run the risk of losing a Soothsayer to Trumpet Blast. Well, War Flare is a slightly different story. Well, actually, no, it's not. Same exact net result. Yes, we're almost dead. We get to crack back for lethal, though, so that's good. Well, it's not lethal, but he decided to concede anyway, so I accept that. Yes, the Villainous Well did not play as well as I would have hoped it would. We don't have a lot of ways to deal with little tokens, which kind of sucks. But I think I'm just gonna have to accept we don't have a lot of ways to deal with tokens. So he does have the Wharf. Yeah, maybe I want the Disdain for his pump effect. I mean, we did have infinite cards in our graveyard. Stopping the War Flare just seems brutal against my opponent. Or the Trumpet Blast if he's running that. Let's do Disdain. I honestly, I do have a good feeling about this. He's got a nice aggressive deck, though, so do I want to lower my curve somehow? I think taking out the Muck Draggers in round 1 was a big mistake on my part. I could cut Formless Nurturing for like a flock, but we haven't seen any flyers yet. And Nurturing actually seems like a good wall against most of his guys. I think we're okay. I need to figure out what I'm cutting for this Disdain. Maybe I cut the Crippling Chill. Crippling Chill's a great card, but he does have the Archfiend of Depravity, but I mean, I do have some outs for that. Maybe I bring in the Reality Shift for that, because he's also got the. Maybe just having a 2-mana, but giving him a creature seems bad. But not dealing with a 3/3 double strike prowess or a 5/4 make me sacrifice all my guys seems pretty bad for me. Could bring in Reality Shift and then maybe cut. I don't know. Supplant Form seems like a really good out for his. He's got a lot of rares, actually. Reality Shift seems kind of important against that, since it's 2-mana hard removal for it. I'd almost rather play Ethereal Ambush in this matchup, if I could, but I don't know what I run that over. Maybe like the Crew Shock. I do Ambush instead, so I have like surprise blockers. But I do like that Crew Shock trade. Sorry, I've only got 22 seconds. I think we're going to cut the Nurturing for the Reality Shift. That could end up being a mistake. And I'm going to run the ambush over the crew shock, I think. But maybe not. Maybe not. Let's leave it like this. Let's just do the disdain. Because I do feel like the disdain against his Warflare could be a really big blowout. He commits to the attack because he knows he's got the Warflare. I counter it and have a million cards in my graveyard. Yeah, this looks like a satisfactory hand. No black mana, but our Mandrill's going to get cheaper thanks to the Skullkeeper. So yes, this is a good hand. Did get the disdain. A little bit of an issue there if we're delving it away, I admit. But maybe we're going for a more early play disdain and into our Mandrills. Could do that too. Let's see what we mill. Hopefully not Villainous Wealth. Alright. No Villainous Wealth. I'm feeling okay. We don't have a black mana yet for our Muck Draggers, but it's okay. See if it's a morph. It is a morph. Alright. Don't have the black mana yet for our Douse and Gloom. Guess I can swing here. And I'm probably just going to disdain whatever he plays next turn. So I can play the Mandrills without worrying about it. Definitely want him to have a play here, but I also want him to have a play that I can counter. So hoping it's not like a Skull Hunter or something, but... Alright, well, it was exactly what I didn't want, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to accept it. So let's get rid of the... Want to hit my land drop. It might have to be the Douse and Gloom or the Disdain, sadly. Guess it's the Disdain. I want the Douse and Gloom for life gain. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Soothsayer. Don't have a black mana, so I'm not going to be able to cast that all that effectively. But guess we get in with Skullkeeper and drop a Mandrills. I could leave the Skullkeeper back, I guess. But I feel like we can get a little more offensive here. And I'm leaving the Parapet for the Muck Draggers, I guess. So there's like potentially something I can get back eventually. But I need one of my black manas or an embodiment at this point. Yeah, I'm going to have to deal with that guy. I can't really do it all that effectively at the moment. Alright, I guess we have to play the patient game. Could just swing in, but I fear what he can crack back for with that Dragon Sow Twins, so I guess it's better to just, I don't know, get a land and supplant for him, I guess. I wouldn't mind copying his double striking prowess guy. Yeah, it's really horribly, horrifically, horrendously bad for us, but can't do anything about it because we don't have a black mana, so there is that. So I could trade with his Skull Hunter and take 8. Not sure what that does for me, so I guess I'll just prevent 8 damage. Yeah, that's something, all right. All right, so I guess the plan is supplant form his Dragon Style Twins, blocking his other morph, which I'm sure he's going to be doing this turn, so we're taking more damage than I can afford to take. Bloodstained Mire, yeah. It's something alright. Guess we're on the supplant form plan. He's just going to unmorph his pony back and kill me, isn't he? Yeah, he is. He's going to kill me with war whatever. It's a bummer. Really unhappy with how this game panned out, but that's alright. Missed our black mana. He had a good draw, so can't be too miffed about it. Just basically hoping he has nothing, which seems so highly unrealistic. So bounce is double striker. That is painful. That is Aniad. Alright, so my opponent had everything, which bums me out pretty hardcore inside, but that's alright. Not happy about how that game played out in any way, shape, or form at all, in any way. Extremely unhappy with that game. Alright, let's figure out what we can do. So this was for his bombs, but we didn't see it. Giving him War Flare ammo is just so bad. So bad. But not being able to deal with his bombs is similarly really, really bad. So I'm just not sure what's worse. Giving him War Flare ammo or taking care of a bomb. I honestly don't know. I feel like this isn't good enough against him in particular. This is like the worst place that you could have Reality Shift. Okay. So I just don't know. Can I do Rite of Undoing? Maybe Rite of Undoing is good in this matchup. Counter his removal. Bounce a bomb. Maybe I want the Dreadmaw. Gains me life, buys me time. But his late game's great. He's got 3 rares that are all intensely good. I feel like Bitter Revelation is like a liability in this matchup, which is horrible. I don't have any life gain. Well, I guess I got Dousing Gloom, but I don't have a lot of life gain. I'm going to cut Bitter Revelation, one of them. I'm not thrilled about that. I'm going to bring in the ambush. And figure out what my last one is. I can't quite figure it out yet. Nurturing as a blocker. Smoke Teller is something cheap. Dreadmaw as life gain. It's a lot of 5-drops. I feel like Dreadmaw could potentially be good in this matchup, but it's tough to say. I guess I'll take it. We'll try it. This is a tough match. Our opponent's got a lot of good rares, as mentioned, which makes this a pretty difficult match. He did have the nut draw that game, though, which is not ideal. And we were off black, which is also similarly not ideal. All right. Play first. I guess we got to keep it. I wish it was a bit quicker, but having all our colors just seems correct. All right, opponent was in the tank at his 7-card hand for a while, and then he eventually mulliganed it. Now he's kept at 6. So we just need to buy a lot of time But like I mentioned, the problem with buying a lot of time in this matchup is our opponent still has a really good late game plan in just the sheer quantity of bomb rares he's got. Alright, Ripper's pretty good against us, but we're going to still drop the Loxodon because I just want to get a board presence, and even if he kills it, I can eventually get it back with a Muck Draggers with help from the Soothsayer, so we'll play it. If he kills it, so be it. Like I said, we'll get it back eventually. Yeah, it's a bummer, but I think we are going to dump a forest here, which could pose a problem if we don't draw another land, but there's nothing else I really want to ditch. I still like the parapet too much. We're running 18 lands, so hoping it won't cause too much of a dilemma. Alright, well, it's not the worst. So we'll get in for 2, drop our parapet, and pass. Still on the hunt for a land, but I'm hopeful we can find one. He can dash now with his Flame Rush Rider, and we're going to be in a bad place if that's the case, but I'll have to accept it. No attacks. No plays. That's interesting. All right, let's just drop the Soothsayer and pass. This really gives us some good options here. So I can actually take the Disdain, but I think the Charm is what we want. Actually, the Mandrills is very good too, but we can at least get the Mandrills back with Muck Draggers. So let's do the Charm, just because he's got all those rares I need outs for him. So we'll do that. We'll dump these guys, and then we'll pass. So now we're at least a land away from unmorphing, and we can cast our Muck Draggers and get back. I guess we can't get back the Mandrills just yet, but with one more card in our yard, we should be able to. All right, Skullkeeper is actually pretty good here. I think we just swing with Soothsayer. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna attack here. I'm actually willing, you know what? I'm willing to trade. I was gonna say I can Douse and Gloom his Ripper, but this seems like a fine trade. Not a great one, granted, but what I like is now I can play Muck Draggers and bring back my Soothsayer. Yeah, because if he's got something here, I can Douse and Gloom instead. So let's just douse it, and then we don't even lose our thing or our morph. So that's actually nice. We don't get damage through, granted, but now we can Skullkeeper and hopefully not lose Villainous Wealth, but alright. Lost a couple of good cards, granted, but I kind of like it now. We have Sultai Charm and Muck Dragger. Muck Dragger can bring back Mandrills or Feral Cruciak. I think I can actually do Muck Draggers plus Mandrills, but that might not be correct. Kind of need a land drop so I can attack with my Loxodon effectively. There we go. So let's get in for all these guys. All right, he's probably got collateral damage. Which is okay. Yeah. So he's burning up more cards in hand. He did kill our Skullkeeper, but he's still taking damage. Ponyback's not going to be able to get him back too much, I don't think. I think at this point I can do Muck Draggers plus Hooting Mandrills. So I pay 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, get Mandrills back, and then Mandrills costs. Guess I'm just short, unfortunately. I will block his morph if he attacks. Yeah. So let's play our land, swing first. See what he's got. He's taking it. So we'll play the Muck Draggers. Six, 7, 8, 9. So I could get back the Mandrills, but I guess I will. Unfortunately, I can't play it. One short, but that's all right. All right, so I get to kill that guy, which is also similarly nice. And we get the concession, so beautiful. Got the win, beat a great Mardu deck. This guy had multiple rares, Archfiend, the Prowess, Double Striker, and he had that Flame Rush Rider. So this guy had a great deck, and he was pretty well positioned against us. I think he just had a mulligan there that cost him dearly, and we drew relatively well to get it. So awesome. Let's get to the finals here.